support.
The maestro, please!
So if you need something to distract you from everything that's happening in the world right now, well, let's talk about some new music. This'll be for the week of
March 14th. 2020.
On this day in music back in 1999, Cher's Believe would start a 4-week run at #1 on the US Hot 100, making Cher the oldest woman to ever achieve a #1 on the US Hot 100 at age 53. Cher's Believe would go on to sell over 11 million copies, becoming one of the best-selling singles of all time. Don't worry, we may not have any new classical albums to talk about, but we do have some stuff to talk about.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
Don't worry, we may not have any new jazz either, but I promise you there is still stuff to talk about.
Singing.
I love rock and roll.
This is indeed their 8th album, but it's their first with new drummer Charlie Engen since Jeremy Spencer has left, and their first on a new label, Better Noise Music. According to guitarist Zoltan Bathory, this is meant to be a rebirth of the band, so take with that what you will.
Since this is the perfect spot to learn, teach me tonight.
James Taylor's 20th studio album, and if the name of the album is not a tip-off, this is a collection of American popular songs from as early as the 20s and as late as the early 60s. Many of these were popular in the first half of the 20th century, with a couple of show tunes thrown in.
It's bigger than hip-hop, hip-hop.
I got PTSD. Always seeing bangs like Chief Keef. Always yelling names, that's DC's. I go off my mind.
I don't know if Herbo did this on purpose, but with the album art and the name of the album itself, this is a very timely release considering the current state of affairs.
Do it for my family, my fans. Fuck how niggas feel. Told them it was my turn. I'm guessing that the time's here. Skeleton my car.
This is actually a very meta title for an album name. Basically, the idea behind it is Lil Baby has said with all of his colleagues hitting #1, #2, #3 with their mixtapes and albums, it was now his turn to get something up there on top of Billboard. If you're not familiar with Caribou, you might be familiar with Manitoba, or Daphne, or just his real name, Dan Snaith. These are all the same person. Regardless, this album apparently originally had 900 different draft ideas, and Snaith cut it down to 12 tracks. So hopefully this is some well-curated vibing music for you.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please!
Tony fuck 12, fuck SWAT. Busting all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put the stick in the box.
You know, on the episode of this I did for Pop Analysis, I originally said that the single version of this was released on January 17th. Apparently, it's now released as a single on February 28th, so there's a correction on my part, I guess.
Since this is the perfect spot to learn, teach me tonight.
It's always good to see somebody who's been doing music since the 1960s can still release new material and still have it get to the top of the charts. I'm not surprised this is still up here. When it charted last week, it outsold the next 6 highest charting albums combined. It was the biggest release in the US for the year thus far. People love BTS. If K-pop isn't your thing, how about reggaeton? Similarly, you don't need to understand the language to be able to enjoy the album. The music stands pretty well on its own, although knowing a little Spanish will help you with the lyrics and the meanings of the songs. Speaking of meanings, the album title is actually an abbreviation for the sentence Yo hago lo que me da la gana, which translates from Spanish into I do what I want.
Do it for my family, my fans. Fuck how niggas feel. Told them it was my turn. I'm guessing that the time's here. Skeleton my car.
Lil Baby did say it was his turn to get a top album, and he most certainly did it, which would have made it really awkward if he didn't. Regardless, he got his first #1 album on only his 2nd studio album, so shouts to Lil Baby. Now you can go through all of these albums, find your favorite 20-second snippet, and memorize it so you can use that and sing it to yourself while you wash your hands for 20 seconds.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please! Maestro,